So,
Exactly.
then how'd you get into the stockbroker business?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I was necessarily a stock broker, but I've always had the stocks and crypto and stuff like that I was trading and moving around. And it became, I guess it went from something that I thought I could do to running my business to putting my profits back into stocks and crypto and that environment and creating revenue that essentially doubled up on the profit I was already earning from my business.
And how old were you at this point?
I started doing that when I was about 26 years old. So I consider myself back then, I was just a young, dumb kid who owned his first business and who was moving things around and somehow figured out how to make this whole thing work.
Well, you weren't as dumb as me because at 23 years old, I bought this nightclub, and I don't know, call me crazy, Chandler, but the biker bar that I bought didn't really appreciate my efforts to turn it into a really nice family restaurant and nightclub. So we were in gunfights and knife fights, bikers trying to kill me. So I understand the dumb young person syndrome,
It's good
but
times.
but I saw a quote somewhere that said, "Your first year of business." This is a good quote. "I felt like a vampire since I never actually saw the sun."
Yeah, it was, and my little sister told me this. She was like 8 or something. She's like, Chandler, I feel like you're a vampire. I was like, why? She's like, because I only see you at night.
Oh
And it
my
was true.
goodness!
I would wake up in this brick and mortar business we had, the first one, and we would wake up at about four.
And what was
Uh,
it? What was the
it
business?
was it was a wellness facility. So
Okay,
when I broke off from med school, we opened up this wellness facility focused on
who's
6 areas
we?
of
Who's
wellness.
we?
Myself and my business partner, who's
Okay,
also my significant other, and we
okay,
haven't killed each other yet.
all
So
right.
been good. But so we basically opened that thing up. And in the beginning, I didn't really have systems. I was just a kid coming out of a medical environment and I didn't know how to run a business. So we would get up at 3 or 4 a.m. and then we wouldn't go to bed or get home till like 11 or midnight. And then we would do it all over again. Half the time we would just sleep in the business. And ultimately that kind of crushed us our first
I
year
mean, that's
because
kind of opposite of teaching wellness and then tearing your body up, right?
exactly. And in the medical school environment, I used to say, you know what we're doing? We are killing ourselves to make other people better. We're essentially sacrificing our own health to enter the field of helping others. It's like a misnomer.
Exactly. Yeah, and the stuff talking about pills. I mean, I'm kind of a consumer advocate. We have a TV show in development in Hollywood called Scam Brigade, and oh my God, I think if these pharmaceutical executives weren't pharmaceutical executives, they'd all be in jail. They're just shoving pills down people, and then oh well, you got to have another pill to take care of what happened from the first pill. So,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly. Everything compounds on itself.
yeah.
And it's like you can tell someone to take a pill, but if you tell someone to eat an apple, they're going to get sued. So now malpractice and how happy people are to sue people, it's become a big problem because now you have to stay within this narrow scope of giving people pills because that's what's quote unquote studied and quote unquote like the gold standard versus, hey, maybe you should eat some vegetables. You don't say that because you're going to get sued. That's not going to cure or solve a problem.
Exactly. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to the end of the year when they announce the 27th booster shot.
The booster on top of the booster on
Yeah,
top of the
right.
booster.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can see how that would be for a guy like you. That would be very tough to handle. So, how did you transition out of the wellness business?
Yeah. So basically, what we did was we ran the wellness business for several years from 2013 till we started transition out the year before COVID.
Hmm.
And the
Uh-huh.
year before COVID, actually probably 3 or 4 years before COVID, I felt like we needed a global footprint, and I felt like we needed an online platform to be able to spread our message and to deliver what we do to a global audience. And so I started building our platform to support us in an app, and then via Zoom, and then via modules and basically a gamified system until what it is today. And so luckily we had the thing complete and we were producing 60% of our revenue from the online platform before COVID hit. Then the COVID pandemic hit and we were even more lucky in the fact that I was able to sell the business just before everything got shut down and went to nothing
Oh,
basically
you
for
you
brick and
were lucky.
mortars.
The guy that bought is probably not,
Yeah, I
not
was like,
feeling that way. All
exactly.
right,
And so
before you go further though, I think we did a couple hundred episodes ago something on gamification. So what did you what techniques of gamifications did you use?
yeah. So when we think about gamification, what I want to do is apply game theory to be able to create sort of a collective consciousness where people will do something that works for the betterment of the entire group. And
Hmm.
so inside the wellness facility, what we learn